Hello brick sculptors and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris and today I have an exciting new video for you. We're going to talk about Lego lighting. Now I know this is not lighting, this is just a plate full of random pieces, but this is some stuff to consider if you want to make Lego lighting. This is not all the pieces I use in this video, but this is a good selection of them. So you might want to, if you're considering ordering some of this stuff, take a look at this. You can pause this video and take a look at these parts. But this is the majority of what I use for most of these lights. And a lot of good pieces in there. And I can explain what any of these are. If you have any questions, just ask down in the comments and I can tell you what they are in better detail. With that being said, we're going to count down 100 different Lego lights and give you some great examples of things you can put in your own Lego MOCs and cities. And let's go ahead and get started with some basic lamps. Now I've got kind of two categories here. Up top I've got kind of our pedestal lamps. They're more floor lamps. And here's some more countertop or desktop lamps. Lots of different things you can use for lamp shades. Cylinders work well. You can use the ones with the grooves to give it kind of a rippled feel. These are kind of those upside down bowl pieces. They work really well for lamp shades. When I do lamps, I try to keep my colors more silvers, grays, maybe browns, whites, blacks, and kind of more natural utility type colors. Every now and then you can throw a pop of color in there, either like blue or pink, depending on what room you're putting it in. But just lots of different ideas you can do here for pedestal lamps. You know, some are a little thinner with a wider base, some a little thicker. Just lots of different ideas there for how you can make a nice lampshade or the lamp post. As for the tabletop lamps, I got some different lampshades down here. These are kind of some bigger tabletop lamps. I really like this one here. This piece on the bottom is a little less common of a piece, but super handy for detail. I don't know what they call that. But and then for the glass element, I just use a clear minifig head, which I think works awesome for a lot of lamps. You know, that's in several of these here. You can also just put it straight on the ground, just have like a glass thing with a shade on it. Had to throw in a lava lamp, because who doesn't want a lava lamp? All you millennials will appreciate that one. And Gen Xers. A little smaller lamp here. And of course had to have a little, I don't know, goblet of fire maybe. But something you can put on a tabletop, just a little flame in it here. I thought that turned out pretty cool. Now, these are all going to be floor and table lamps. Let's go ahead and look at some wall lamps here. We've got lots of different examples here of things you could put on a wall. Again, I use some of these kind of upside down half dome pieces. A lot of different variations you can do there. One of my favorite pieces to use for lamps is the paint roller. You can do this kind of going upward like this, or like this white one here. You can have it hanging down as well. I'm considering one of these styles for the front of my bank MOC, if you keep up with my videos. I think those will look pretty good on the outside of the bank. I do like this one as well. This piece is quite rare. I don't really know where these came from, but I came across them and figured I might as well buy them. But those work really well too for more industrial looking stainless steel lamp or whatever. I really like this. This is cool. It's a couple of clips and then there's a bar with a little glass cylinder on it. Real decorative. This is kind of cool here too. You know, just lots of different things you can stick on a wall, on the front of a house, side of a building, whatever. This one's kind of cool. It sticks out real far. Uses one of these more like T pieces. Whoops. Here we got some kind of floodlights. Using these, I think they call them minifig posing stands. Super handy piece. So many usages for that. It's a newer part to me, but I've used it on a lot of different stuff. And then here we got some kind of torches. Now when you do torches, there's kind of two different flames you can use. This one's actually the feather piece in trans orange. You see this in some older torches like in Harry Potter sets and things. And just the classic little single flame. This looks very Olympic torch-esque. And then, you got your little candelabra or whatever. You could put some glass domes on top of that. And I also have one of these more dome lights in gold. You can use this guy too to attach them. These are real handy pieces. This one here is quite similar to this guy over here, except I used these kind of like T-handle pieces and just wedged the glass thing in the middle there. So a lot of cool ideas there you can try out. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more industrial lighting. So on this side, these are things that you might see on like a business, more commercial looking, floodlights, things like that, security lights. Over here, we just got a lot of basic lights that would stick out from a wall. Some of them have a little bit more of a top on them, like almost a roof element. Some of them just kind of a little flatter and smaller. These are pretty cool. I did one of these in silver, just I thought more of like a stainless steel look. But this is just those tile pieces that have 2 studs on them, and then just a clear 1x2 underneath. You can do some hinged lights like this here, where you have 2 on top or 2 side by side. You can also do 2 independent floodlights like that with a little bar in the middle to hold them. So lots of cool different stuff there. Here's some bigger floodlights with these like kind of silver, dome type pieces. A little more of a lantern look here. And then this is kind of like a bar light. I don't know. I was getting creative with it. I thought it looked cool. Maybe above a commercial door or something to give a lot of lighting. But some ideas there for more of a commercial look. While on the topic of work lights, I've got some work lamps as well. Now these all look really cool in black, but if you're doing job site stuff, orange or yellow works really well to look a little bit more like a commercial tool lighting or whatever. So we got some little pedestal lamps here that you could use to light up a job site. Some more lanterns here or cautionary lights. Some kind of floor floodlights if you want them like pointing up at a building more. Something low like that works really well. In black, I've got some pedestal lamps here too. A nice big tall one here with 4 individual lights on it. A couple of these guys here. And then lots of little spotlights. These are fun to put like in the front of a business or in the front of a house to kind of shed light on the building. I did one here with the paint roller. It's kind of big, but you could probably find a cool use for that. Then over here I have some more work lights. Something that you would put like over maybe over a desk. If you did this in white, you could put it over like an operating table in a hospital. A couple different sizes of these overhead lights that are real adjustable. This one's got a couple different hinges in it, so it works out well. You could do a desk lamp version or just a small folding light like this. So really, that's why I wanted to show you the parts first, because you can just get really creative with this stuff. Just get a whole bunch of different parts and start tinkering. I mean, 80% of what I'm showing you here I've never used in my city before. I just took a couple hours and started throwing stuff together and playing with parts, and then every time I came up with something new, I'm like, hey, I made this. Well, let's make a smaller version. Okay, let's make a real small version. And then maybe one in yellow. So it wasn't hard to come up with 100 different lights just by kind of letting the creativity roll and having the parts available to just kind of throw stuff together. And that's how I like to build Lego, is just kind of rolling with it and having everything in front of me so I can just kind of get creative and hopefully come up with something cool. The last section here, with one exception, are my outdoor lights. So we got some kind of yard lights down in front here. We do something real small, like this little pyramid light. Some with a dome here. These are really cool. This was inspired by a light that I saw at a local school. They just kind of line a parking lot. You could also do this with a pyramid on top, but I kind of like the cheese slope. Well, here's one with a pyramid. You could do that on a pedestal. I really like this one. This will look good in like a front yard. You often see these out in the front of houses just to kind of light up the front yard on like older houses. This lantern's kind of cool. I decided to use a yellow glass dome in it instead of clear, but you could do either. Something you could put in a garden, just kind of like a hanging lantern type deal. There's a couple little pedestal lights that would work well outside as well. These pieces are real handy. I think they call it a fez hat. Fits really nice on a 1x1 round with just a telescope base. On the second row, these are more like something you'd put like on a parking lot or in a more public space. A shorter light that's going to give out a lot more light. This one's kind of like a little dome I used here with this rounded clear piece. You know, some of these. This was fun. I used one of these round, kind of hard to get out. One of these guys here and one of the rounds with the hole in it. It made for a nice little topper there with the ball on top. This has a Travis brick in it with tiles on all four sides. And for my daughter, I had to do a four-way disco ball with all the different colors. So I got to have the party light there. That one's the exception. Doesn't really fit in the outdoor lights. And then, of course, some taller street lamps or outdoor lighting for public areas. Now, this one here is made with candlesticks. I don't love the color on this one. I preferred to have a black dome, but I didn't have a 3x3 dome in black, so I just threw it in a gray one there. But this is one of these palm tree toppers, and they fit 4 glass pieces on it very nicely, and you just put a top on there. This is a very similar concept, built on candlesticks, and this I just used these little sticks with the balls on them and put a 4x4 dome on top. I really like how that turned out. Again, I probably would have done a different color dome again, but I was working with what I had here. This is a common light that you see and I use in my city. We just have the kind of pre-made pedestal, minifig head in clear, and then I just do a black dome because these in green are kind of hard to come by. Dark green, sorry. Some bigger versions, if you didn't want such a small light, you can kind of build out from it and give it a little bit bigger of a glass section here. This is one of those food canisters, like those glass domes upside down, and I put a 1x1 round inside of it to look kind of like a bulb. But if you want a real big public street light type deal, that looks really good. And last but not least, it's kind of too tall for the video here. Let me lay it down. But you can do a street light on a power line. So these are the ones. Let's see if I make this a little bigger here. These are the ones I use in my city. So you got the power lines here and just a street light coming off of it. This is how it is around my town. And so that's where I got the inspiration for this. And works really well in my city. Well, that's all I've got for this one. I hope you got some good ideas out of this. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions or comments or things that you'd like to see in the future, please let me know below in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And we will see you next time.